Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are well. I am also well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am Mohammad Moniruজ্জামান Monir, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Norshindy Government College, Norshindy. In the previous class, I taught you morphology. I am again with the students of honors third year to teach today phrase structure. This is also a course of introduction to linguistics. After attending the class or after listening my lecture, you all will be able to know what is phrase structure grammar, what are the rules of phrase structure, and how does phrase structure trees clarify the ambiguity of meaning. But these topics may be selected in the examination in a little bit different way, such that you may be asked to draw two phrase structure with a sentence which will interpret two different meanings. And I think if you are attentive, if you can be attentive only 15 minutes, then you all will be able to answer all the probable questions from PSG. Before going to discuss about PSG, I want to introduce with a person. Please look at the person. I think you all know him. He is Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky introduced the PS rules as the term for grammar. Not only PS rules, he has given many theories on linguistics. He is a legend. Now, what does Noam Chomsky say about PSG? Noam Chomsky first introduced PS phrase structure as a grammar. If you want to define phrase structure, then we may say in this way: a grammar in which relations among the words and morphemes of a sentence are described, but not deeper or semantic relation, is called PSG or phrase structure grammar. That means phrase structure grammar describes the relationship among morphemes, among words, but it did not or does not describe the relationship of semantics. That means it does not say semantic relationship. Now, dear students, actually the main topics for today is phrase structure rules and drawing trees. Blueprints of phrase structure rule, or the way of drawing a tree diagrams, or divided way to divide a sentence following the phrase structure rules. Dear students, you have to divide a sentence into two, noun phrase and verb phrase. A noun phrase may be divided into determiner, adjective, noun, prepositional phrase, and sentence. Verb phrase is comprised with verb. Sometimes it may have noun phrase and prepositional phrase also. Prepositional phrase is comprised with preposition, and sometimes it may have noun phrase. Adjective phrase is comprised with adjective. It also may have adverbial phrase and prepositional phrase. Adverb phrase is comprised with adverb, and it also may have prepositional phrase. Dear students, you see here some elements are in red color, some elements are in bracket. What does it mean? The elements in the bracket are optional, and the elements in the red color are mandatory. If you think about sentence, then noun phrase and verb phrase are must. And if you think about noun phrase, then noun is mandatory, but determiner, adjective, prepositional phrase, or subject may have or may exist, but it is not mandatory to be the part of noun phrase. In the case of verb phrase, verb is mandatory, but noun phrase and prepositional phrase are not mandatory to be the part of verb phrase. Prepositional phrase, preposition is mandatory, but noun phrase is not mandatory. But sometimes in the prepositional phrase, noun phrase exists. Adjective phrase, adjective is mandatory. But sometimes prepositional phrase and adverb are also available, are also found in adjective phrase. Adverb phrase, adverb is mandatory, but in sometimes you will find prepositional phrase. Dear students, now we will see how you will be able to draw syntactic trees. Before drawing a syntactic trees, you have to remember some things, some rules that must be remembered by you. Among them, always start with the word classes at the bottom. Always write as at the top, and these as must be branched into two, noun phrase on the left and verb phrase on the right. Lines are not allowed to cross, and each node in the diagram should be labeled where two lines join. Dear students, you have to remember these four. Dear student, look at the sentence. Following the rules of phrase structure, I have written S at the top, and this S means sentence is divided into two parts, noun phrase and verb phrase. And noun phrase is divided into three, determiner, noun, and prepositional phrase. Again, prepositional phrase is divided into two, preposition and noun phrase. In the same way, verb phrase is divided into two, verb and noun phrase. Noun phrase is divided into again three parts, determiner, adjective phrase, and noun. So the whole sentence becomes the king of France had an unhappy life. Here each note in the diagram are in the same level, and the sentences is written in the bottom. So I can say that I have followed all the rules of drawing a diagram. Dear students, and this is a way how will you be able to draw a diagram. Now I will show how phrase structure trees clarify the ambiguity of meaning, and you may be asked to write a sentence and draw two diagrams with that sentence to interpret to different meaning. I am here to discuss about these things. Please look at this sentence. So read the book on the blue coach. There is a sentence, but I have drawn two diagrams. If you observe in the first diagram, you will find that sentence is branched into two parts, noun phrase and verb phrase. And verb phrase is divided into three parts, verb, noun phrase and prepositional phrase. And in the second sentence, second diagram, you will find that sentence is divided into two, noun phrase and verb phrase, and verb phrase is divided into two, verb and noun phrase. What is the difference between these two diagrams? In the first diagram, verb phrase is divided into three. In the second diagram, verb phrase is divided into two. And with this difference of division of verb phrase, the meaning of the sentence is also the meaning of the two sentences also vary. In the first sentence, the action of reading took place on the blackboard. But in the second sentence, the action of reading might be taken in anywhere. And in the second sentence, for the diagram, the book is on the blackboard. But in the first sentence, a book is not on the course. Rather, the reader read the book on the coach. So only difference of phrases, the meaning of the sentence also varies. I think it is clear to you. Again, if you want to be clear, then look at this part. Verb is divided into three. Here verb is divided into mainly two, verb and noun phrase. And noun phrase is divided into prepositional phrase, noun phrase, and here noun phrase, verb phrase and prepositional phrase are separated. So the meaning of the sentence varies from one to another, just only for the drawing diagram. Now we will see a little more phrase structure rule, such as conjoining and PS. John and I are good friends. Here I is a noun phrase, John is also a noun phrase. But these two noun phrase is joined with conjunction and. So this is conjoining noun phrase. These two nouns are joined with and so this is called conjoining noun phrase. And the structure of this type of noun phrase will be in this way: noun phrase, and noun phrase, and it is divided into conjunction and sometimes you will find sentences with auxiliaries. And then how will you draw the diagram? Look at this sentence. Here you will find auxiliary verb named code. Then how will you draw the diagram? In this type of sentence, you have to divide into three parts: noun phrase, verb phrase, and auxiliary. Aux, that means auxiliary. And the rest of the parts will remain as usual. We could be a good friends. Here sentences as is divided into three parts: noun phrase and verb phrase and auxiliary. Noun phrase means we, auxiliary means for, verb phrase is divided to two, verb and noun phrase. Noun phrase is divided to adjective and noun. So we could be good friends. More exercise, a little bit different from the as usual sentence. I think that John left. I think that John left. Here sentence is divided into two, noun phrase and verb phrase. Noun phrase and verb phrase. Noun phrase here is I, and verb phrase think that John left. And among the verb phrase, verb is separated from rest of the part, and here think is written. And now what will be the left? Here that is complementizer, so you have to write again as and, or that means sentence, and this is separated into noun phrase and verb phrase. You have to write complementizer first. That means the structure of such type of sentence will be this type. If you find any type of complementizer such as that, what, where, how, then you have to follow this type of structure. The word classes that are used in phrase structure grammar. These are nouns, verb, adjectives, adverb, prepositions, determiners, pronouns, conjunction, and complementizer. Complementizer, that, what, whether, if. If you find one of them, then you have to follow these rules. Dear students, no more today. Today I want to finish now. Before finishing, I want to recapitulate the most important part of the lecture. Today, I have tried to make you understand what is phrase structure, what are the rules of phrase structure, how does phrase structure help to clarify the ambiguity of the meaning of a sentence, and how will you draw a phrase T diagrams of following phrase structure rules. I think all these are clear to you. In spite of this, I want to inform, or I want to remind you what are the things you should remember to draw a T diagram. Try to remember. Okay, always start with the word class at the bottom. Always have S at the top, and S should be divided into two. In the left part you have to write noun phrase, in the right part you have to write verb phrase. Lines are not allowed to cross. Each node in the diagram should be labeled. And I suggest you to practice following these rules, and I think you will be able to draw T diagrams. If you feel any kind of hesitation, if you feel hesitation to draw a diagram, then you may communicate with me without hesitation. I will try my best to solve your problem. I also suggest you to attend all classes taken by the teacher of Department of English. And if you continue doing so, then you will be well prepared for the coming exam and for the future generation also. Thanks. Stay safe, pray for me, and again thank you for patience hearing. Thank you all.